That's crazy. Rough cut wall number, that's all at 2.5. I'll set that 2.25 because that's a nice even number. And we're going to take this rough sawn edge off on all these. Except for one of them, I'm going to make an even 2-inch because it's got a gnarly spot on it. No. Doing a 16, doing 3/16, 3/16, 1 3/4, 1 3/4. Alright. I stood at 1.5, so let's do these two. Again, I'm just getting the rough side off so it's nice and smooth like this one. Not sure how well this will even show up. Smooth. Yeah, you can't tell the difference. I can though. Sure, great. 2 inches should be enough. Yep. So my own machine was trying to come into flex. Alright. Okay. That's all this. Let's go get my bench vise set up. Start cleaning stuff. Yay, hand tools. If anybody's never seen me do this, that way nobody can get their hand on there if they just accidentally fires up. Even if you try to, it's locked down. You only got to get the bit by one once before you come up with all kinds of extra ideas to keep people away from them. Yeah. Let's not make you guys sick and dizzy. Now I gotta bring the wood over. Get my light and my plate. Ow. This is the handiest little vise I've ever seen. So happy I picked it up. Not good for heavy duty industrial needs, but for holding a piece of wood while you run a plane over to flatten it, I could not ask for a better sized unit because I can get it out of my way and it leaves next to nothing in the way. Alright, now I just gotta see what on the phone's going on. Gotta go grab a stone for this real quick. I'll be right back. Not that I'm mad since nobody's watching, so on replay, I apologize. It's gonna be a minute. Okay, I'm back. Gotta get everything set up back to the way it was. My phone quit working right, so we had to restart that. And now I'm back to everything working right. Yay! Ooh, this is actually pretty nice. Brand new. I picked this up for my lathe tools and figured, what the heck? Well, try it for this. That already feels sharper. I've been sharpening knives and stuff like this for years. I would never recommend holding a stone separate unless you actually have confidence that you can hold everything where it needs to be and everything flat, and it's still not the smartest thing to do. But I don't have room where you guys can see, and I don't want to move my camera, so these things are a pain in the rear. Doesn't help that I know. Doesn't help it's been a while that I've played with one, so. Yeah. take much. Tuning one of these after sharpening them does take a bit of effort. Going the wrong way, that would definitely help. Thanks, but don't be too much.
Yes, redeem the things. Press the button you must and prepare your destiny.
Unlikely. Not today. That one's actually smooth. That's got some bumps. What's up, Kib Kitty? Just playing around, squaring some stuff up. It's the stuff y'all don't see unless you actually watch my channel and you get anything that's made glued together. Everything's got to be super precise otherwise and smooth, otherwise you get gaps and it don't look good at all. This is what happens when your plane is squared up. Set up the cut right. 3 to 4 good passes, and that's usually all it takes. That's what I'm looking for, that nice consistent cut the whole way down. Hey, Harbor Freight's got new deals. Ooh. Can't even let that go. That's going to take a lot of work. This is why I bought a powered planer. We're going to grab that real quick and do the initial flatten with that. Not that I try to keep everything handy and available for easy, quick access. Take another 30-second off. By the way, that power tool does the same thing as this. It just bends instead of has a straight blade. And I can adjust how deep it cuts, unlike these. These are just for basically smoothing. I'm tired of flexing these things to death. Again, why I bought the power option. Looks like I got some junk under one of my blades, leaving a weird looking spot. Oh, that's what that was for. All right. For all the safety police, no battery. I'm fighting with this thing later. Can't remember. It's been too long. I'm going to have to look it up. Back to the hand tools, I guess. That splinter went straight in. That's a hit. That is it. Instant pay. That one's good. Okay. Hits. Hits. Needs hits. Definitely needs hit. And this one will definitely need hit too. I hate splinters. Ow! Yeah. Busting my knuckle open on that. What's up, man? I'm just kind of getting stuff put together, and easier to talk when I don't have something going in my ear. But yeah, I'm just chilling, pushing a plane, seeing if anybody wants to chit chat. Remember, it serves right, I got 2 days before I run out of data, so I figured what the heck, we'll run out of time because my next day off resets my next month and my free membership on the site. So if it goes dark randomly without me saying anything, that's what happens. I just realized I don't need hearing protection in while I'm doing this. Yeah, I can hear, but again, I started to say better, but active noise canceling earbuds leave me basically deaf. Which is why I lick them when I'm running saws. I think memory serves right. I actually got the thing back together while I'm sitting here thinking about it, so I don't got to keep pushing these things. Because I just want to get this done. Because I still gotta cut down a couple boards for some pen blanks today. I need to turn one more pen. I think I'm supposed to meet somebody that wants to buy a couple today too. Should be nice, especially because my car just went in the shop and ain't gonna be a cheap fix. I had 3 complaints. They found like 7 more things wrong with it. Makes a great day. Fourth. Cool. Yeah, that's good. Got some more blades for that planer too. Thinking about putting a Cash App or Venmo or something up for this, for the business and YouTube videos for any donations. Not sure if it'd be worth my time or not, but thinking about it right now. Anybody that actually be interested in helping support me a little bit, let me know. And there's no pressure, so if you don't want to, it's all good. More of my passion project anyway than anything else. Although I want the night would help me get live a little more regularly if I was getting a little extra help, but also helps when I'm not doing production work and just kind of doing what I'm doing right now, which is building up stock and inventory, so I don't have to, if I have an order, that's when I'm balls to the wall production mode, get out of my way or I'm going free because I got to get this done. Because if you're anything like me, I don't like having to wait for something, especially if I find out somebody's slacking on getting it done. Still warm. If you're tuning in late, I only got to do one side on the walnut because the other side from the factory, or at least the store where I bought it from, is actually already smooth and at a decent 90, so I'm just going to let it go. Set that to 30 seconds. Oh, maybe hit. And for the eagle-eyed observer, or anyone that actually knows what they're doing, when I get these little divots, I actually, once I'm done, cut about the first inch or so off. So when that doesn't glue up right and there's a gap there, we'll cut out of the final product. And that's just because it's hanging up front and taking it down a little bit at a weak angle. Even when I keep it smooth, it still divots down a little bit. My planer does the same thing. It's called snipe. It's one of those things that sometimes happens. But my planer's not as bad as what a lot of people claim they are, so I'm really happy about that. You guys can hear that. That's my neighbor's chickens. Apparently they want to be on the video. And not as fun sounding as a lake full of frogs, though, or a pond full of frogs. Especially a pond full of frogs that are in the mood. And SRB, if you catch this, yes, I'm poking a little fun at your pond or pool the other day. But I actually did enjoy the sound of it. I love the sound of frogs. They're very calming for my nerves. Cool. I saw that. Best part of my vise right here. Comes off and just leaves this little piece. And when you're gluing a clamp up, or clamping a glue up rather, clamping it, or glue. Yeah, whatever I said the first time, that was totally wrong. That was funny. Yeah. Let me grab my blower, blow all this stuff off. This away. And all right, I'm my brother. So excited to get back to you. Talk to you guys. Thinking about this. I gotta check something real quick. Second him full the other day. Want to see if it's downstairs. Alright. Gonna flip you guys around for a second. So you'll pardon the black screen. Gotta love my little Lego dude though. Yeah. Alright. In the near future, I need to I might do that next time I get a paycheck, I can buy one of woodwork. I gotta get 2 mini tables made for my display to store. And then, yeah, I want to get a rack made to hold my main different species of cutting board wood. You guys know background by now. I got too big to cut down the drum, so I use that my cut off pieces. You might need the 2 to this. Um, Thinking about trying to make some pen blanks like this too with my cutoffs. Cause I think that'd look pretty cool. Cut it square, drill a hole in the middle, turn it down on the lathe. My dog just gets all excited about something. He's just blind. He just got a bath this morning, so he's all mad at me right now, so. Wasn't even planning on it, but he got in the way of the hose when I was pulling something up. Like, okay, well, you're already sewed, so keep the rest of the way wet. Get you clean and make it smell horrible. He hates the way he smells after a bath and rolls his clothes. I'd be lying if it didn't make me laugh when he's trying to get the good smell that I put on the mop and stuff. I have some white paper for this too. All right. Now, let me play. This is the fun part. Got my highlight pieces right here. The bigger chunks and hunks to Alright. Do that. Put some paper on the outside of it. Hey, that one we flipped up. That's it. Okay. I'm going to be doing some different size ones, so make that a little bit wider. Nice. Hey, 8 and 8. I think 8 by 12, that shouldn't be too bad. should actually look pretty decent. The finished length will be about 11.5. 11.5 by 8, that's almost the same size as a sheet of regular printer paper. It'll be a touch smaller. It reminds me. Let's see if I can find those. Oops. I don't know if my cousin's birthday today. While I'm looking this up, this is exactly how I come up with new ideas. $2 more, 5 extra sets. Yeah. Doesn't sound like a half bad deal. Analyze with fake spot. That's rare. By the way, I totally recommend if you're ever on Amazon looking for stuff, download FakeSpot. Gives you a grade of their of the product's actual realistic ratings. They go in and see if the company has actually paid for the ratings that they've gotten. So that way you can be sure you're buying, or what you're buying is actually real reviews and not just a company that paid for some. And I absolutely use it for everything I buy, especially for stuff I'm making. Because, I heard about it from somebody else, and I was very pleased with what I heard about them. I looked into it myself, and I use them all the time. You just download the app on your phone, and it syncs up to Amazon immediately. So all you got to do is hit the little button where you would share whatever you're looking at. Scroll to the bottom, it'll say Analyze with FakeSpot, and you're good to go. And you might not even have to download the app. I'm not sure. But if you're ever not sure about something, look into it. It saved me a few times because I bought something that was horrible before I found it, went back and looked it up, and they give it a grade like in school, like A, B, C, D, F. So, yeah, the one I bought was an F, the next one I ordered was an A, and there was a night and day difference between quality, and I was like, okay. So, yeah, always worth double checking, especially with electronics and things like that. I think I'm tired. I'm gonna lie and go on. Use it. can't find this in another minute or two. I'm just gonna shut it down. I mean my phone, not the stream. Yeah, I'm gonna track that down some other time. I'm actually gonna do a small one. I don't need my big one to do that. I'm gonna get these guys out of here. These big parallel clamps are a lifesaver for doing big jobs like this. And I'm doing a couple of thicker ones as soon as I get this one glued up and slid out of the way. So that's why I want to hang on to these. I want to get as much done today as I can. I'm going to be at work the next 2 nights. I generally don't get a lot done on the days. My real job, by the way, not doing this stuff. This stuff don't pay the bills. I'd like to get it to where it does. So kind of a long-term goal of it. So yeah, and these are my El Cheapo pants. Not the greatest quality, but they work. You just gotta be careful that they cannot clamp as tight as other ones out there, and understand what their limitations are. But if you can do that, they are usable. It's like my Harbor Freight F-style clamps that will bend under tension, but not broke one yet. And my thing is, if I mean, yeah, it gets frustrating, but yeah, I mean, you know, at the end of the day, you really need to put 1,500 pounds or more on wood while the glue is setting. I don't really care about cranking on them as hard as I can. I just want them to hold together so it stays flush. There's the toothbrush.
Hey everybody, Adam Savage, NYK.
If you can't tell, it's the kind of stuff I listen to while I'm doing these. I gave it away. I watch YouTube, listen to audiobooks and music, and in one ear. Not that I've ever made a secret of that. Should be that. These brushes are great if you like to keep your hands somewhat clean. You're still getting glue on them, but never near as much. And if you ever get into woodworking, buy a glue bot and buy your glue by the gallon. They'll save a lot of money. Because I'm pretty sure the small size of this glue, which I would use probably about half the bottle just for this one glue up. I think it's like $5 or $6. And then when you're done, you can never really get all the glue out of them. And you throw that bottle away and it just adds to the plastic mess. And these are reusable, refillable. And yeah, they're also really handy for just you set it down, and when you're ready for a little bit of glue, you just squeeze and it comes right out. So you're not flipping it over and shaking it when it's half empty and waiting for it to go to the bottom. And even when I'm out here in the winter and it gets cold out, even when I've got my heater on and I'm out here, I take my glue bottles in when I'm done at the end of the day, but as they get colder, it still runs slower and it takes a lot more time. And these ones, it's cold. It's half froze. Wood glues, I think I heard it's like 50% water or something. Most of them. So, as it gets cold, it will slow down, just like molasses in January. But yeah, it will still come out of the bottle faster in that style than the others. And trust me, if it wasn't worth it, I wouldn't spend the money on them, because I think I've got a few extra of these sitting in the house right now. I actually couldn't find my old one, which was sitting out here all winter. This stuff was frozen, and that's why it's got that up in there. But it still works. I'll use that glue for a shop project for in here. That way, if anything's weird about it, it won't be going out to anybody else. And the other reason is this glue is safe for, they say indirect food contact, but it's for using it for cutting boards and stuff like this. It's actually one of the few that are recommended, because it is completely waterproof once it sets, and it also has a nice long working time before it actually starts to harden. I mean, granted, if it's hot out, it's that hardening or the curing time is always gonna be shorter. And yeah, just all the things you don't really think about until you're actually out in the shop doing the job. Actually making the stuff and getting your hands dirty. Which, let's be honest, I live for. I did cut these short pieces a little proud, which means they stick up a little bit higher than the others. That way, if I'm doing anything where I'm gonna need them to be, I do use different thicknesses of this wood sometimes, because there are times where I can get 5/4 cheaper than 4/4, which means it's after it's dried. Well, it's the thickness before it goes into a kiln to get dried. So 5/4 would be an inch, 1.25 inches. 4/4 is 1 inch. 4/4 That's where it comes from. And again, that's the pre-dried thickness. Usually, general rule of thumb, you lose about a 1/4 inch per, or no, it's not a 1/4 inch per inch, because, yeah, no, it is a 1/4 inch per inch. It's like a 2x4 originally starts off as 2x4 inches, and after they're dried, they're usually, this is not a 2x4, but it's usually 2 3/4 inches wide. Actually, this is a 2x4, so this is generally 3.5 inches wide by 1.5 inches thick. So when you're planning your dimensions, that's kind of the size I plan on. Just have a vision where to put cords right in front of me. I only have one out here too, so I'm super paranoid about it. But let's see if I can get this. Yep. 1.5 inches by 3.5. So if you didn't know that and you're totally new to woodworking, like I know some of my audience is right now, that's actually another number that we have to keep in mind when I'm planning on build, because sometimes that can be the difference of, you know, your project working or not working. Like if I'm, you know, building something for out here, my dimensions are, it's a lot easier for me to just go, meh, I can, you know, kind of, I can leave this rough because it doesn't matter. But if I'm doing something where it actually does matter for dimensions, like say you want something to fit in a certain spot in your house and you tell me that you need it to be these precise dimensions, like say you want it to fit between two walls like a bathroom vanity or something, and then you really got to take that into account and actually measure it to make sure if I was going to be using that to do the internal structuring, that's when I would actually, just because the level of precision has to be there for that, I would actually take it and cut it down to 3 inches even, and I'd take I'd do what I did with this 2x3 and actually take the rounded edges off and leave them square. You just take a 1/4 inch off either side to do that. That's usually all it takes. And then after that's done, you can sorry, clamps, so it's hard to talk and plate. But yeah, I mean, you know, it all depends on what level of precision you need. You know, like if you buy a cutting board, this is actually, one half of this is going to be the first one that I'm putting up for sale. Probably at my next show, unless somebody sees this and hits me up and says, hey, I want the cutting board in the window, just like I wanted the puppy in the window and knocked in my backyard. And they're looking at me like he's all upset because he's not being ran and it's been sitting for 10 minutes without being reassured that he's loved, because he's super duper clingy. And for anyone that doesn't know me, which I'm sure is most of you, that dog is played with more than anything else that I do. Don't think for a second that I'm mean to him. He just doesn't like it when I'm working because he likes to be the center of attention all the time. And I really just like the song, Can I Get the Puppy Dog in the Window? Because I love dogs, especially my dog. He's a brat, but I love him. And the days where I cannot wait to buy a bunch more of these guys. They make doing this so much easier. Alright, I got anybody active in chat yet? Hey, Butterfly. Actually, I'm not doing anything other than adding mineral oil. Let me... So I'm guessing you're here. Paper towel. We're going to try to do this one-handed, even though it's going to be really rough. The only thing I do with them once they're done, which this one's not quite, it still needs sanded, but I just take a little mineral oil. And I've been soaking it, but what I'm going to try to do on this one is rub it in. And then that'll be the final finish, because it's food safe. It's specifically designed for keeping your cutting boards hard. It's designed to keep them from drying out so they don't actually crack. Because even if you don't have pretty colors in it like I add, a lot of them are still actually cut. The grain direction flips. There are sections about every 2 to 3 inches wide, generally, depending on the species. Some of them you can go a little longer. Because if you don't do that, they'll actually warp over time, and then they don't stay nice and flat. So that's one I just finished up this morning. I'm actually going to drop my rabbit tail in a minute, sand the edges up, and I'll do that on here, not sure. This one I'm going to do a little bit wider. The first step is making sure that everything's going to work where you put it. Okay. I do have this all framed. Yes, I do. Slide that up a little bit. Yep. And I actually have one type that's actually really nifty. Let me grab it. I cannot use this in cutting boards because it actually causes almost a, they call it a sensitivity, but it's like the equivalent of an allergic reaction. But that's the natural color of it. It's just a very purple, or very vibrant purple wood. Beautiful to work with, absolutely stunning to see, but sadly I cannot in good conscience use it in a cutting board until I confirm that the little bit of research I've been looking into stuff that says it's not good is accurate. Because I see a lot of people using it in cutting boards that are custom made, and I'm just like, I don't want to make people sick. So, no, I mean, one of my other ideas I'm going to look into later, thinking about trying to make custom clipboards like this. I mean, it's going to be a beefy clipboard, so I mean, that's the base thickness of everything. So, yeah, I saw something moving behind me and forgot my phone playing something back there. Okay, and that's about as thick as I want to go. And if I had another half-inch to that, it's 11 3/4. My planer can handle 12.5, so I'm under the maximum. If I do 18, that's going to be a bit small. $15 by 11, and that actually, okay. When I start cutting these down, I want to have them to where they're actually still usable for a smaller size. Because unfortunately, they will need cut down. Wait a second. That's what I'm going to do. If you go back and watch the replay, I actually cut all these up in the very beginning. Just my little sticks. And I took either one of my planes, it depends on which one. Got everything nice and smooth and squared off, so everything clamps up and glues beautifully. Other than that color, that should work. Lay this up. Yeah, it's well. Yeah. I gotta get this back in my live stream since I can actually watch the chat. And are you talking about the purple wood? I was failing at doing this and not paying attention to chat. I actually have a couple bowls I've turned out of it. It's not one that I work with a lot just because it's very expensive and very hard. But I do work with it occasionally. Things that would be used for like decoration rather than being used. Not the board I just showed you, but I've got another one sitting back here that I'm going to cut up into pen blanks as soon as I'm done getting my other cutting board ready. And if you're still here and I still have time left, because I only get 20 hours a month with StreamYard, I will throw a pen on the lathe and I can turn one for you real quick if you want to watch. Because I do make pens out of it too. It's actually where I first learned about it. As I turn it, it will go brown, but I'll show you that there is a trick to bring that purple back. There's actually multiple ways of bringing the purple back, but I don't know why I'm picking these up. Yeah, I finished my important phone call too this morning. I get to spend $2,100 on getting my car fixed. I don't know how that thing was even driving. Much wrong with it as they said there was. And I didn't even know about it until now. And it's like, shoot. But hey, that's what happens when you put 90,000 some miles on your SUV. I'm just happy my other but yeah. How you been doing? love painting. By the way, if I say anything stupid, I sometimes forget I'm not alone, and I talk myself out here all the time. Or I might be yelling at the dog because he's tied up and right over there, actually, but he's currently staring at me because he's mad because he wants to play. And I'm working and already ran him twice today. He's caught his breaths and now he wants more. Because he's good for that. I knew it had been a couple crazy weeks for you. And yeah, I know. The last couple months I have spent way more money than I would have ever liked to, and owe way more than I'm used to owing. So I'm really hoping these take off because I had already had the wood. I've just been dragging my feet on getting everything ready, and the turning stuff isn't selling as well as I thought it would. So now I'm trying to branch out and see what else I can get into. I'm just happy I already had everything I needed to do most of this. I've just been slowly buying up stuff, and I get a good deal on wood, and I try to buy what I can because oh yeah, I want to do this and I want to do that, and then life. I think my wood glue-itis is going to be showing up again today. What I call it when I start peeling wood glue off my hands later. Anybody that doesn't know what I'm talking about generally freaks out because it looks like you're literally peeling skin off your hands until they know it's just glue. I've been in to mess with people with it way too much, but hey. Anyone that knows me knows if I have a chance to mess with somebody, I'm going to. Slide these down. Yeah. That all square, that all square. This isn't as important as if I was doing an end grain, which an end grain cutting board is everything that I just did. Then once the glue dries, I slice it this way, flip them back up, and then glue them back together. I just did my first one yesterday. I'm going to be posting pictures of that on Facebook later today or tomorrow. The lines did not stay as straight as I would have liked, but hey, yeah, can't win them all. I want all these clamps. Anybody want to go to Lowe's with me and buy them all for me? Since you can't see what I'm doing, I have a gap on this side that I want a nice heavy-duty clamp to pull because something's on it's warped a little bit. I'm not sure this will have enough to pull. There we go. But the closer you get to heavy duty clamp, the easier it is to pull everything else. Oh, great! Bunch of little slivers. This is why I need to. This is why it's going to be a lot more shop infrastructure coming up. That's never fun. I know I've had to talk with Ellie a few times in the past myself, and I never enjoy it. Everything good now, at least? Okay. As long as I'm live on here, I'm usually not following Facebook too close, just so you're warned. But once I hop off, I'll take a look if you type it out. Thought I had 2 more clamps. Oh, I think we're good. And by the way, if anybody ever gets into woodworking, you do want to see that glue coming out. It's an indication that you have enough and that there isn't, everything is fully coated. But you also don't want it like running like a river off of there. So you know you didn't use too much. Not that it'll affect the adhesion, it's just, and do you want a big mess to clean up like right through here? I don't know if you guys can even see that. Yes, you can with that. All of that's where I had a little too much. But when it comes to glue, I'd rather use a little extra than not enough, because that's the difference of it holding together and your project breaking. So yeah, that's that. Let that dry up. And yeah. Oh, I don't forget what I was going to do with this. And yeah. All right, let's go back to the other one. I need to do some sanding. And then dang, that sounds crazy, butterfly. But all right, let me get a chair and stuff set up and grab my sander, and we're gonna sand that cutting board that I just played with a minute with, and then I am going to, that's why. Camera off. So I really don't think you want to get busy while I move. Forget the chair. I'm gonna do it right here. Camera. Don't mind the mess. This is what I've been through. Home standard. That sounds kind of awkward. Just saying. Just have to think of that right here. Right there. Oh. There. Yeah, I'm right there with you. That's why I don't give out my personal page to very many people. There's a couple in TJ's group that have it, but you know, I talked to them a lot before they got that. So. All right, and. I forgot to cut the edges off of it. I'll be back in 2 ticks. That's a split right there where that didn't glue up right on the edge. And I need to square everything up. So I'll be right back. I would normally do this on camera, but I don't want to turn it on. Come back. Like I said, it wouldn't be too long. But yeah, now that is really awkward. I don't get why people can't just put time to each other. It's not very hard. It just makes everybody's life that much better. The nice thing about having pictures around everywhere, I can be lazy. I'm gonna drop this down and try to not make it too seasick. I'm not gonna be able to do it. That's better. Alright. Oh. Yeah. I still say it's, I don't know. I don't get the point of being mean to somebody just because they don't agree or think it's something in a different way. But then again, I'm always been one to, I look at things in weird ways, so I get it. Yeah, I don't need That's ridiculous. I've never had anybody get my number granted. Not sure if I want to leave this. Well, that's what I can do. I got a handle template I'll do with this one. Yeah. Alright. After the first layer, I like to run my router over the edge. A lot of them I see done will have what's called a roundover, where it's actually rounded. I'm going to do a chamfer where it's just a straight line. And I got to clear off my router table, because I got a bunch of stuff I need to sand sitting on it currently. Then we'll run over there. Last one up. Okay, before I get up and do all that. Well, at least you've got connections. That goes a long way to get me the help you need. Since I'm never well prepared. Alright. Now we're heading to the router table. Anybody that's following close? Okay, butterfly. I'm just finishing up this cutting board, and then I'm gonna get into the cutting up the piece of wood. I'm just gonna make the one blank I need for now, because I just got a text message. I might be able to get the extra set of hands I need to get some other stuff moved around in here and cleaned up today. But I want to get this stuff done, and I do want to get that other pen done, because I actually might. I think I'm running out tonight to drop that off, because that was something somebody asked for, and yeah. Anybody that follows close, this is actually the stand I made the other day. As you can tell, it is a little floppy still. I'm going to be adding some cross supports, which will also hold the shelves on. So we're going to be doing that probably on I'm trying to think. I'm off Thursday and Friday. I might be doing that Thursday or Friday. Let me know if you guys want to see that done on a live, because what I might do is start live streaming infrastructure builds. Because yeah, if people are if you guys want to see how it's done, furniture tables, stuff like that isn't much different. It's just I make that stuff look prettier than what I keep out here. Yeah. And just for anybody that's interested, the reason when I get done and move my hands, but I pull it back before I rearrange it, because I'm trying to avoid burns like that, which you can kind of see it. It's just from it sitting on the bit. Plus, if you leave it here without supporting it, it does have the potential of grabbing it and throwing. So, just safety and aesthetic stuff, which is also why I'll do my first level of sanding and then do this. That way, if there's any major issues where I actually need to go in and cut the edges off, that little piece of tear out hit from this. But that way, if there's any issues, usually I can see it a little easier after the first level of sanding. So, you're back. I just finished on the router table. Just moving back to the sander. And I need to drop this down. I'm sanding the laziest way possible, aka sitting down on my butt. But hey, it's my day off, so I think I've earned the right to be lazy. Yeah. So, this. Drop down. Turn the video back on. And when you're sanding, they say you're supposed to increase your grit by no more than 50%. It's like the first one was 120, which is a stripping grit. 80 is the most aggressive I can get for this easily. This is 220, which is I believe they had it labeled prep. And then I actually take it up to 320, even though a lot of people will stop at 220. If I could find higher grits for my sander than this, would totally buy them. I do my pens. They actually don't have me on me right now, I don't think. But I take my pen or my wooden pens up to 3,000, and then my anything that's acrylic pen wise or bottle stopper wise actually goes up to 12,000, which is like running your hand over a piece of paper. Just to give you an idea what it feels like for what I'm polishing with. Yeah, I hear that. Later today or tomorrow, I got to do the same thing, actually. But, alright, let me get back to this, because once I get done with this and that pen, I gotta send a message anyway, so. Yeah. Oh, that was my watch. I thought I heard somebody coming up. Oh, I forgot. All right. Well, I lost my nice tight chamfer with that. Oh well. Still looks good to me. And if it didn't, I would go back and actually cut the edges and redo it. Alright. And that was one of the last things I do, and I actually forgot to grab it ahead of time. I need to grab my spray bottle with water. So I need to do what's called popping the grain, not the grit. I do is put a light mist over it and then sand it up some more. Because what that does is it brings the grain up and it'll make it stand up, so the last layer will, because I just lost all the smooth that I had. And what this will do is knock off all the high spots, so as soon as it's used in water the first time, you won't feel everything that I didn't get off. It's all good. I know you're busy. We all are. I mean, alright. As soon as I'm done with this, I'm gonna throw this in the sun and we'll let the sun dry it up. It's warm today. And then we will cut up that other one. I gotta switch my lathe over to drilling again because the pen I was gonna make out of Purple Heart decided to blow up this morning. So I gotta recut part of that. And then we will turn the pen and then I'll pull this back out and we'll finish with putting the the coat of mineral oil on this. Just want to get that water everywhere, make sure it's consistently moistened. That looks a little, there we go. Come here, son. It's not as crazy as it sounds. I think I actually still have it over here. I realized I drilled the hole wrong when I went to put the tube in. That's the one I drilled. I know you guys won't be able to see the difference. That's what I needed. As soon as I put the drill bit in, it got about you can see how far it got in before it split in half. And I was in a hurry, so I was trying to do this by hand, so I'm hanging onto this with a drill, and it went right in my hand, and that'll get your attention every time. But it's all part of making stuff. I really wish there was a way you guys could feel how smooth these are when I'm done. Actually, there is. Buy one today. I'll be right back. Here. Oh, that's that. Let's fill the camera feed again. I head back to the table saw. And then I'm going to have to throw my hearing protection in, which is just my other earbud. It happens. When you drill a hole like that in wood and then have to take off. I'm trying to think, what was that? I was a 32nd off, and when you're taking a sliver that thin out, sometimes it just doesn't want to cooperate and it just blows or it splits like that. So it happens. I mean, it was my fault for drilling it wrong in the first place, so whatever. It's a quick fix. Even best when you don't have to recut your blank like I have to. That mean some out of clampers that I was looking for. So I just found the other clamp I was looking for, so I wanted to cut that or lock that down real quick. All right, now it's in the little 10 blank. Hey, look, it's a lollipop pen blank. Yeah. It's all good. I've been there myself. And not that long ago, butterfly. I get it. I love how quiet this thing is now. I had to put a little grease on it the last time I had it out and using it. I like to make these square, so that's how I make it square. Just throw that in there and make sure it slides through without hitting. It's close enough. It's gonna get spun down, so it doesn't have to be perfect. I don't care what anybody says. Making your own blanks is not that hard. Now I can get my other hearing protection out. And it was making everything sound weird. But yeah. That's after it gets heat treated, and that's what it looks like before. Now we're onto the lathe. Yay! Then I can plug my phone in because I just noticed my battery pack out here is dead. My phone's at 23%. Spread that. I actually do a weird trick with my phone to make it look like you're closer. Because really you're that width of my hand left. I don't know why it has such a weird effect, but it happens. Let's find my bookings too. I might have done that a few times if you can't tell. Here's my bowl of bookings. Okay, and I need 2764. Not the 2564 I used yesterday. Lock our grill bit in. Ooh, text message. All right. Sorry, I forget I'm doing a live stream sometimes. This thing's all full of junk, so I'm just trying to clean it out before I lock this down in there, because I was having issues with it moving yesterday. Close that up. I use the garage door lube on this stuff because it dries. It's when it's done, or when it dries up, it actually dries and leaves very little residue. When you're dealing with dust. Still catching a little bit, but it's a lot smoother than it was. I feel like I need to just bite the bullet and go out and buy a better whammy bar chuck. All right. Put it down, otherwise throw oil everywhere. Lunch is important. What's lunch? I haven't eaten today. I think I still have chicken on a stick from China from my Chinese dinner last night, so I might grab that as soon as I'm done here. All right, where'd I put that pizza roll? Right in front of me, that's where I put it. Stop. That. Lock that down. That's all I need off it. I'm marking my drill bit so that I know, because I don't need to drill this whole thing out, I know where to stop. And then once that's done, I will yeah, that's where I need to stop, so I'm not going to drill out too much. Hate it when they squeal. Now my ears are all messed up. I can use the mini porta pan today because I don't need the big one. And if I use the big one, I'm going to go whap right into you guys. So we're going to go just past my mark. If you've never used one of these before, the real trick is just let the weight of the saw do it. Don't push into it. And I actually stopped. There's no hole there. That's short, which means I did this absolutely perfectly. I don't have to do any extra work. which is always nice, but very rare for me. So just that. Break that loose. Pop this in on that off because I'm lazy. Yeah. You're really trying to make some punches today, aren't you, Butterfly? That was bad as PJ last night. I was watching about food, and I'm sitting there like, I was thinking about coming up, but not you guys when we talk about food all night. Of course, I had dinner on the way after I got it, but it's just feeling hungry, so I didn't jump up. Get through this. I need to buy some 3-in-1 oil too. I need to oil my bed. Just cleaned this thing the other day and it's already got surface rust on it again. Blow my tube in. I think today we're going to do something I normally don't do, which will include me actually assembling said sound. So this will be a first. I'll need about 3 to 5 minutes to dry up. I gotta go flip that board side. I want to make sure both sides are dry. Pretty sure that board is ready to rock and roll, but I'm holding off until I know for sure. Plus, I need to get this done. So now I got to go through here and find the right bushing. Apparently, I mixed the pens in here. Oh, looking beauty, roller ball, fountain ball pen. That's what I need right there. And if you've never seen my 50 cal pens, I do make them out of one Spire 50 cal case. Really wish I could say that I was the one making them one Spire 50 cal casings, because I have had the opportunity to shoot one once, and yeah, I was absolutely amazing. I had way too much fun that day. I had a problem come up with what I put into here, but when they're done, that's how they look. And obviously they're not covered in dust because this has been sitting out here for a bit, but I got to figure out there's something wrong with the part that goes in there, and I cannot for the life of me remember what it was. But if I'm going to sell anything, it's usually those, or I'll have to have a little 30 cal bullet times to do the same thing. It should be ready. I'm going to square these up over here because I'm trying to do them quick. Something looks weird. Yeah, something ain't right with it. Oh, it's that little thing. Weird. Well, that's the cap done. Now it's going to square up the pocket and put the thing here if you want. And that be that. So all I do to square them up is run a sander. It's just spins. I actually want to get a bigger one. It would save me a lot of time. Lock that down. Lock that down. Crank that tight. Since this is wood, it should turn fairly quick. Let me touch this edge up too. Good to go. I love making stuff. There's your little lesson on how to speed turn. All I got left to do is sand it. I always appreciate somebody to talk to, or I probably would have turned it off by now. And by the way, I'm in groups or pen turning groups where they say that I cannot possibly have done, what was it, 37 pens in 18 hours. Can you see why I'm able to do it now? Because a lot of people can't do this quick. And I can only do this with wood and super duper sharp tools, but I guess I'm in a hurry, so I know I just put a new insert on that, touched up my one edge, and this was just sharpened yesterday, and I've only got a couple cuts on it, so yeah. And that's how we hide all of our sanding marks from 60 grit, going back and forth with the grain. And now we are, yeah, and if I didn't say it before, I do appreciate you being here too, because I do get lonely. So now I'm just going to run the grits through 60. It was 120, here's 180. They say when you're sanding, you should never increase the grit number by more than half. So like, it only says 80 here, but this is 180 grit. So I should not go past 270, which is why I've got 240. After this one is when they start getting really big, and the different textures of the sandpaper will actually get considerably finer from here, because this is 400. And if you go by traditional rules of sanding, after this I should go to 600 or 800 rather. But the packs I buy and I appreciate have 600. I like being able to just slowly increase, because I don't do it anymore, but some of my earlier pens I only sanded to like, what was, I think it was 400 grit. And the first time I bought a pack of these sanding pads, and they're nothing fancy, I mean they're all cheapos I found on Amazon, but you know, for pen turning, they're perfect. And the reason I buy the round ones is because when I'm doing a bowl, I actually have a hand sander or a drill. But I'll pop them on and then I'll just... It's a lot more effective on bowls. Because for the pens, I prefer to do it by hand, and every so often turn it off, go with the grain, knock everything out. And for my last step here, I want to make sure, because this is a 3000 grit pad, this feels like it's totally smooth. This is the last one that I'll use. And now I just lost the word. It's not tarnish. For the life of me, I cannot remember what it is. But this is where I will actually burnish. I need to burnish the wood, which will give it its initial polish and shine. And all I do is pinch it. And with Purple Heart, I'm also trying to heat it up. The other way of doing this is actually take a torch and turn the lathe down on a low speed and heat it up, but it's a lot easier to burn it with a torch. So that's hot. I gotta get this a little bit done better. This one's resisting me a little bit more than normal. But I am kind of going for the wavy look too, so I actually kind of like that. So, I'm not sure yet, Butterfly. I might have to run out of the. I might have to run down south for a little bit tonight, and I'm not sure what time I'll be back. Because I actually have somebody that wants this pen plus 4 more that I'm gonna run down, and I think they were wanting it today. I can't remember. I'm actually gonna hit them up as soon as I get off of here, which will be after I oil up that cutting board, which I'm doing it right after this. It got a lot darker than I was expecting it to. Put a second coat on here right quick. And by the way, this is a wax with an alcohol base, and it dries in about the time that it takes me to pull it off. Dribble a little bit more on. I love this stuff. Dr. Woodshop's Pens Plus. It's food safe. If I put it in a bowl, it will not hold up the salad dressing. Other than that, it's actually safe for direct food contact, and it's good stuff. I don't use it anymore because, I don't know many people that wouldn't want to use a wooden bowl for anything but a salad. So I have other finishes for that, like my Mahoney's walnut oil. I had to look at the brand name on the bottle back there. But and that's just those bowls or platters or that kind of thing. They get the walnut oil for the base, and then for everything I always plastic, acrylic, it don't matter, resin, all of it always gets a bit of beeswax for the final finish. Now we just got to set this finish. All I'm doing is melting that wax to get it, because the alcohol gets it to absorb into the wood. And then when I melt the wax into it like this, with a little bit of friction, oh yeah, that lightened that up. All right. And then with all my bowls or pens or anything on the lathe, it gets this wax. Just a little bit might actually be enough if it doesn't fly apart like it just did. Yeah. And this is 100% beeswax. And I actually just found somebody that gave me a bunch. I've got to filter out myself, but I haven't looked into how to do it yet, because I do have a lot right now that I've already bought. But this summer, one day on a live, I might, once I get a few more things done, we might spend it in the kitchen while I melt down beeswax. But this just gives it a nice shimmery look without making it look like plastic. Cat in the hand, that'd be that. That there, that's how you turn a wooden pen. I'll put this together right after I get that cutting board covered in oil, and then I think I'm hopping off because I gotta get a hold of, like I said, the girl that wants to potentially order some stuff. So I know if I gotta run down, see her, to drop it off, and yeah. It's 3 o'clock. I still got time to get a few things done around here. So let me. What about parts up here? No, there's some there. I gotta grab some gloves for when I put the oil on because my hands are covered in duck junk, and I don't want to put that stuff on the board. Not that sawdust and wax is really going to matter, but not this weird. So, for those there. Oh, shoot. I forgot to plug my phone in. Oh. Holy cow. I am so happy I saw that went dim. I totally had that down to 3%. Wow, that almost died. Alright. Glad I had to move this thing now. Alright, camera off. I'm moving you guys outside because I think the sunlight will make this look a lot better. And I see 2 people watching. I'm not sure if that's counting my other phone or somebody else is here, but if you're here, feel free to say hi. I don't bite too hard. I might do a little bit, but you know, that's part of the fun, right? Yeah. And I misspoke. This cutting board is actually going to be for sale as well. And unfortunately, I can't get you guys out into the sun where it is going to look better. But it is what it is. I didn't let my phone dry or die. So Ooh, cool, and this board's nice and hot. Right. Before I do this, I can probably have my phone so I can be looking for questions. If I was trying to get rid of you, I would just would have shut it down without saying a word. And then not had to post up later about, sorry, didn't realize my phone was dead because I forgot to plug it in because I'm dumb. Insert those. That's better. I'll just rub this into the edges extra good. Honestly, this is probably my favorite part because this is absolutely amazing when the color pops finally and you get the final look of what it's going to look like. Alright. I have to refilter this because I soaked another board in this yesterday. And after seeing how much I had to pull out of it that was wasted, I don't think I'm soaking them anymore. Same with my honey dippers because it takes so much extra. I don't see much of a benefit from using that much. Of course, I'm also going to be getting a bigger container of this mineral oil, hopefully Friday, so then I can give me 1 second for that one, Butterfly. I'm the new heart icon is right over where I need to be able to see to read it, and I don't want to get my phone covered in oil, which is all over my hands, which is another reason I wanted a pair of gloves on today. A little extra on there. Okay. So that parallel thermal stuff is safe to burn in. Oh. I will post a picture of this up later with it in the sunlight, probably on Facebook, and if I can, I'll figure out how to put it up on YouTube as well. Because if I can go back and later and change my picture, it's probably going to be what it is. You can do them out of, you can do cutting boards out of resin. The problem you run into with it is that the resin is going to show every cut you make. So after a while, it's going to look absolutely horrible. Like every couple of years, I'd have to come, or you'd have to find a way for us to either get together, because I'm not sure if you're in Ohio or not, or ship it back to me and have me actually run it through a planer, re-sand it, refinish everything. And I mean, at that point, you know, if I do like an ocean scene with 3/4 of an inch, I can do 3 or 4 pours on that and actually get a beautiful 3-dimensional wave look for like a beach scene. But every time I have to plane it down, even if I'm only taking a 64th of an inch off, you know, over time it's just going to disappear. So I personally wouldn't unless specifically asked for, and I would give them this exact same warning. But if it's something somebody really wanted, I can and am fully capable of doing that. I also just picked up a charcuterie board mold, or like a small serving tray resin mold. It's about 1/4 inch thick. It should actually work pretty well, but you know, that's something that I would put your stuff that you cut on, put that on there, and then use that to serve it with instead of cutting on it. Just because of, you know, like I said, it's already starting off at 1/4 inch thick, and if I'm going to be able to sand anything off, every pass with sandpaper, I'm taking just that fraction of an inch off. And over time, that's just not going to be as pretty, and I don't think it doesn't have the longevity that I would like to have in something that I make and sell. And I mean, something like this could last you the rest of your life, and your kids' life if you take care of it right. So, but I like having my stuff I like making stuff that'll last and actually look good. And I mean, yeah, in 50 years, it might need sanded down, but anybody with a palm sander can do that. Sand it, smooth it, throw a little mineral oil on it like I just did to get the final look. And yeah. Thought I saw something weird. But yeah, so be on the lookout for these guys. I'm going to be figuring out my sizes here next couple days, and then yeah, let me slide back over here. I got to find a way to do this and keep my phone plugged in. We can put this pen together, and yeah. Sorry, I'm just typing up a text real quick. And we're going to put this together. Okay, that's that. I do need to check those. a second, my dog is barking. I gotta see if somebody's here. And then pass the day. Hey! Knock it off. It's okay. Okay. I don't care what anybody says. My dog's amazing, even though he's big and scary looking. I felt bad one time. I saw this skinny little girl doing a DoorDash. He was tied up out back, and she was scared. She was too scared to even bring the food to my door. She got out of her car, and he lost it. I saw her, and she's like paralyzed with fear. I opened the door and went up to meet her. I'm like, it's fine. He's tied up in the back. He can't get up here. She could not get out of here fast enough. I felt bad, but at the same time, it was like anybody that knows my dog knows he wouldn't hurt a fly. Navigator. Oh, and I forgot to turn this on, so we'll do that. So this guy, which I know nobody in this is my streams yet. It's called a pen press. This is one of two that I use. I cannot find the right bag for these bushings, so I just throw them in the bag, the big bag that holds them. It tells me Elegant Beauty, fountain pen, gunmetal, and chrome. So that way I know it's for an Elegant Beauty, which is what this style of pen is called. Oops, if you don't lose track of the tubes you just made. They look horrible. Look horrible outside of daylight. And I don't know. You can see it, but I've got. This is instructions for all of my pens. Every single pen that I offer, or other wood turning projects. I've got Christmas ornaments, ratcheting screwdriver. I've never made one of these, but I'm trying to find the kits, the magnetic pickup. They do make wine glasses I can turn, or wine glass stems rather, that I can turn, which I really want to get a couple to try. Bottle openers, wooden mugs, which, yeah, the wooden mugs don't necessarily have to be wood. This here is a resin blank for a coffee mug with real live coffee beans. Oh yeah, I usually don't have them outside when I'm doing a live stream. But yeah, he got a bath today, so as soon as I'm done with this, I'm probably going to let him loose and run his butt until he can't move again. Because, yeah. But yeah, no, he's big. He's fun. What's wow? What'd I miss? I missed something. What'd I say? I've been rambling. Flip that over. Oh, that was probably for the book, wasn't it? Oh, the coffee. Yeah. I do have one that I made at first with the coffee beans. It's when I was still learning how to use resin, and I made a huge mistake with it. I overheated the metal cup insert that goes into it. And on the side where it should be, it's got a dent in the middle. Like, I think I lost at least an ounce of total volume from how big it is. It's down one whole side. It was bad. But, alright, let me Got it. Next thing I'm adding, at next table I'm adding, and I might just buy a music stand for it. It's something to hold my book. And I think one of the music stands where you can adjust it would be perfect. Now that I say it, I'm going to look that up because that is something I'm going to have to grab for out here. Don't tell my old orchestra instructor, but I might do a one of the thingies that the conductors use to direct the music with, or to direct the orchestra with, because she was awesome. I've never made one, so I might make one if I can get to their last concert of the year. If I haven't already missed it. I'm going to have to look into that later, too. I got too much to do and not enough time to do it in. Alright. Press cap L into band K. Slide clip I over coupler J. Press into clip assembly L and K. Into the 4.75 finished end of the upper blank H. Are those different? Oh, what do you know? They were different. I didn't even realize I had two different sizes on that side. Yay! Well, this actually works out because the side I wanted this on is the correct side. This was all pre-assembled with what I just read with all the different parts, so all I got to do is press this into my tube here. Then the next step, slide the center band accents F, which I'm going to have to... Your bigger table. Or less junk. Problem is, it's not junk, it's actually markers for tops. I got it. 10 kits and more blanks. On my favorite bins I get from Dollar Tree, because as they empty out, I can shrink them, and they still look nice and full. Here, reminds me, I need to get my binding machine back. And make a phone call and see if my card is going to be ready at all today. Okay. Now, band F. That's band F. It's got a little design on it. It's kind of hard to see. That goes on there. And the accent ring goes on there. I'm reading this right. And then that's the cap. And then for this, I'm pretty sure that's threaded couplings C into each end of the blank. And the reason I like this one, if you're a little short, you can twist that. And then a lot of times I like to twist it up and just make sure everything's snugged in. Now I am going to do an actual video on how I design my pens with, like, because I don't know how well that shows up, but it's tapered more on one side than the other because I like a fatter end to be down there. But this is also one of the benefits of having a custom pen made for you, especially if I'm at the store I'm in. I'm going to talk to them and see if I can do live demos, and on the days I'm there. say, I'm good at beach stuff. Like personally, I like the way that feels because I like the fatter end back there. But I mean, that's something that while I'm standing there running the lathe, if you were to come up, that you could actually, every step of the way, I'll have you actually test fit to see how it feels in your hands. Because I'll tell you where to grab. And sorry, I got to think about that one press fit. Need a hair more. And there's that. And that is another fountain pen ready to go. So, and because I am weird about fountain pens, they're the only pens that I will not test right with, because any true pen snob, and I am a pen snob person in my personal life, that nib there, as you start writing with it, it'll take a little bit, but once it gets used to the way that you write, once you get it broken, and it takes a little bit of time, but once you've written with it enough to where it feels you have it where it's working right, you almost never want to let anyone else actually write with it, because if they hit it, if they push harder than you, it'll never write the same way for you again. So that's one of those, I'm weird about it, but I understand the difference. I've had people ruin my fountain pens from trying them. So, yeah. But, yeah. I'm actually probably hopping off of here anytime now, Butterfly. I gotta run the dog, and, yeah. Actually, I want to check these cutting boards real quick. I might be able to get these on. Yeah. Definitely not ready to go through anything else, but these are actually ready to come out and get declamped. And I'm going to clean some of this glue up real quick. what I need to do is invest in a cheap pair of chisels so I can just knock this stuff off. Okay, got it. So yeah, so okay. Yeah. So that'd be that. I think I'm gonna log off of here. I can get the rest of my stuff done and find out what's going on for the rest of the day for me. So I will see y'all later. Oh right, and Cat in the Hat, and happy that. Have a good one, folks.